everyone, and welcome back to Sustainability Sunday. We took a couple of weeks off. You may or may not have noticed that a couple of different types of videos popped into your feed, so I was kind of busy with that. But we are going to get back into things this week and talk about more of my favorite just sustainability swaps for around the home. And if this is the first time you're clicking on, this is basically just a quick weekly discussion to kind of keep us in that mindset of living a more, eco-friendly, minimal lifestyle. And what we have been doing is kind of going around room to room throughout the house and just talking about some of the swaps within each room that you can make. And as always, I like to say that this is not supposed, my intention is not to convince you to go out and buy things right now, because that is not sustainable in itself. You should always use the thing that you already have, and then the next time that you maybe need to replace it, you just consider replacing it with a more sustainable, swap, whether it's plastic free or, comes in compostable packaging. There's a lot of different things that you can do. So we are just going to jump into that. So one really cool product that I wanted to bring up are compostable BandAids, or BandAids that are made out of different materials other than what they typically come as, because they most of the time are made of plastic, and as we all know, that doesn't really break down, and so it just kind of hangs around forever. These ones, this particular brand is Patch, but there are many different brands out there. This one is really great though, because it's like a certified B Corporation and all of that good stuff that we really like to see. The bamboo is sustainably harvested and sourced, so that is what I would recommend you look for, even if you don't go with this particular brand. But I like this brand Patch, and yeah, not really much more to say about it, just that they are BandAids made of bamboo that can be much more easily composted than other BandAids. Now, this is going to be one that I unfortunately can't remember if we have talked about or not. I don't think we have, but I am sorry if I am wrong. And that is just an alternative to period products. I know we did talk about period underwear before, but I don't know that we talked about other types of period care that are a little bit more sustainable than tampons or pads or something like that, that you just throw away or come in really just not sustainable packaging. Like most tampons come with the plastic inserters that are just single use, you throw away, which is really pretty wasteful. So there are so many tampon companies out there now that all, are really good and do a lot of the same really good things. I particularly I just keep them in this little basket, and this little paper just happened to be in it, so I kept it so I could show you. But it's just the brand Cora, and they do some other really nice things as far as their like donation work and advocacy work and stuff like that. But all of my tampons they just come in a box, and that's it. They don't have any plastic packaging, they don't have any plastic inserts, anything like that, and it's organic, ethically sourced cotton. Sorry, I don't know why I could not think of that. Because a lot of tampons are not made with, maybe they are made with cotton, but it's not ethically sourced, because unfortunately there is a huge so many ways that cotton is not sourced ethically. It's actually a pretty big problem, maybe a topic for another video. So whatever brand you do end up choosing, if that's what you're going to do, I would just consider making sure that it is being ethically sourced, not to repeat myself too many times. And I know that for some people you might be saying, like, don't use tampons at all, just use the period underwear, or use like a reusable disc thing. And I don't really think it's for me or you to tell anybody what they should be doing. I think really you should do what is comfortable for you, and if you can do it in a way that is more sustainable, I think that is a great option or a great way to do it. And I'm not sure, I don't personally use pads, but I think that there are more sustainable ones that are maybe made of things like bamboo or other materials like that. But for me personally, between the period underwear and these, I'm comfortable with that, and honestly I don't use the tampons that much anyway, so I feel okay about that. Now for the third one, I did not bring it over because it's kind of yucky, but it is cat litter. So actually one of the videos that I just released was about Savannah cats, and so you may or may not know that I have one, and Sophie of course has a litter box, and I brought this up because there are so many types of litter that are not sustainable, not ethically sourced, and really cause some problems on the environment, you know, like the way it's mined or sourced or things like that. And so I think that there are a lot of really good swaps that you can make that will you'll be happy with, that your cat will be happy with. And that's not to say that they will all work for you. Like, I know everybody's a little bit different. My cat is pretty picky, but we have thankfully found something that works for both of us, and I feel comfortable using it because it's just made of like recycled newspaper or recycled paper materials like that. There are so many brands out there. Like I'll put some in, and I'll probably like pop little pictures up of different types and stuff, and I'll include the one that I use, but in general, there are just so many more sustainable ones that you can use, things like corn and wheat and just things like that. And a lot of them are better for your cat as well. Like a lot of the ones that are made of like the silica beads and stuff actually can have a lot of health, like adverse health effects on you and your cat. And they're not really the most ethically or sustainably sourced. Even with there are some problems with clay and the way that we're mining for clay litter and stuff like that. So just something to consider and think about. I know that switching your cat's litter can be difficult, especially if you and your cat are both used to a certain type. But if you do run out and you're looking for a more sustainable swap, or wasn't something that you had considered before, definitely something to think about. And now for our action of the video. It's not really weird, but you know, honestly, it's something that we should be doing if we are recycling. But I do my absolute best to make sure that everything that I'm putting into the recycling bin is in the form that it needs to be in to be recycled. And what I mean by that are aluminum cans, tin cans, anything like that. That tends to be where most of my recycling is, like cans of cat food, for example. I make sure that like there will be paper on the outside or a sticker on the outside, and if you just put it like that into the recycling, that is two separate pieces of material, you know, like the aluminum can can't be recycled with the paper on the outside of it. So, and I have zero sort recycling, so I try really, really hard to make sure that everything is going to be exactly how it needs to be when I put it in there. So that means that I am cutting paper off the outside of things and peeling stickers off the outside of things, doing whatever I need to do, taking things apart, because sometimes, I don't know, certain, I can't think of a good example right now, but certain bottles or containers or something have other materials like kind of on the inside, and you maybe need to like take it apart to get the piece of plastic out so you can recycle this or whatever. I don't know. But that is, yeah, that's the weird action for this video. Just cutting, separating, whatever you need to do to make sure that your recycling can actually be recycled, because we don't even need to get into it right now, but there are so many problems with recycling. And one thing that you may not know, that I certainly didn't know until a couple of years ago, is that you can essentially spoil an entire batch of recycling by putting something in there that's not supposed to be in there. And especially with the zero sort and stuff like that, there really just isn't enough time for people to go through and make sure that everything, I don't know, is the way it should be. So it really is up to us, you and me, to make sure that what we're putting into the recycling can be recycled. If we put stuff in there that has food on it, it ruins the whole batch of recycling that thing went in, like a yogurt container or something. Just throw it away. It's plastic. Probably will get thrown away anyway, and then you won't ruin the whole batch of recycling. That is all that I have for today. Thanks for tagging along for this Sustainability Sunday video. If you are somewhere where it is springtime, I hope that you are enjoying it, because it is spring here and it has been a lot of fun. But until next time, goodbye.